So the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 has just officially came out, so let's go and see how this watch holds up against the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5. Now, I will definitely tell you, in my personal opinion, if you already have a Samsung Galaxy Watch 5, you should probably keep it. There really isn't a massive reason to go up to something like a Galaxy Watch 6 per se, but there are actually a couple of advantages of going up to something like a Galaxy Watch 6. They have made a few changes. They've actually made the watch, I think, a little bit better looking, which is really nice. And those types of things are very, very cool because they actually do improve the longevity, and the way these types of watches look kind of dictates how long they're going to last in terms of, from a visual appearance. We saw with the last several Galaxy watches, there were some slight changes. We have like a Pro model now, but for the most part, they're kind of the same thing for the last couple of years. With this one, it's a slight change, and I'm actually really happy about it. Now, the first thing I will tell you, with the Galaxy Watch 5 on the front, you are getting, the standard type of displays that you were getting. But they were really good panels. I liked them a lot, and I really didn't think there was really anything ever wrong with it. It looked great, but like I said, it was very similar looking to the Galaxy Watch, 4 at the time. So that was another thing that kind of threw me off a little bit. But otherwise, it was still a very good looking watch, and there really wasn't that much to hate on. With the Galaxy Watch 6, this is now a little bit of a better and more improved watch when it came down to it. So this specific watch actually has a larger screen. So they do mention that it's about 20% larger of a display, which is actually a very nice touch. Having a display that's like this, that is actually bigger than its previous one, is actually a really nice thing. And that actually means, in my opinion, that this type of watch has a higher likelihood of lasting a little bit longer, maybe in terms of hardware, but especially in terms of software, if, these watches end up getting an improved software lifecycle. So maybe from that software standpoint, this type of watch will actually last a little bit longer from that perspective, which I think is really, really cool. Now, in terms of the band selection and everything like that, they basically are almost the same type of watch. You can mix and match these bands according to the sizes. So that's something that's really cool. And I still think the Galaxy Watch 5 looks great. If you look at the button layout, it's almost the exact same thing as well. So you have the same type of buttons you can click on, you can power it on, you have basically the same exact buttons for the most part, which I think is actually really cool, like I mentioned before. And this watch now is actually slimmer. The Watch 6 is slimmer now than the Galaxy Watch 5. So that's another pretty cool thing that you're getting with this type of watch. Now, that kind of covers it up on the outside, at least for the slight differences that we have. Another big thing, the Watch 6 does actually have a higher resolution display than the Watch 5, so that's kind of another cool thing going on for that specific watch as well. Now, in terms of, the performance, this is probably one of the other areas of this device that is probably going to stand out. The Galaxy Watch 6 is apparently 18% faster than its previous generation. Now, I really don't know if you're going to notice these types of changes, time and time again, because again, when you're using your watch, how many times are you doing like a very computational heavy thing on your watch? It's probably very rare. Most of the time, you're probably just using your watch to check notifications or to reply to messages. Very rarely are you probably ever doing anything, even like web browsing on your watch. You're probably never doing that. Most of the time, it's checking notifications and different things like that. Very basic stuff, tracking workouts. And on any watch, I would say, even like a Galaxy Watch 2, it's probably still going to be perfectly fine. So I think that's just a big thing to keep in mind in the back of your head. But with the Galaxy Watch 6, it is a little bit of a faster processor. So I think that's a really cool thing. You're getting an up to basically 18% faster processor, but you're also getting 2 gigabytes of RAM on that watch, where the previous model was 1.5 gigabytes. So even from that perspective, you're also getting a little bit of an improvement, which, like I said before, is a very cool thing. And I'm very, very happy whenever, Samsung makes these types of changes. It's a very cool thing, and it makes me very happy whenever Samsung does kind of do this. So from that perspective, again, thumbs up for me. Now, from the battery life perspective, I will tell you, you're probably not going to tell that big of a difference between the battery life between these two devices. The Galaxy Watch 5 had a 410 mAh battery. The Galaxy Watch 6 has a 425 mAh battery. So from these two devices, you are basically getting the exact same type of watch. There's not that big of a difference from the battery life perspective. Still very good watches though, not a lot to hate on. But like I said, you're definitely probably, in my opinion, getting better battery life from the Watch 6. But it is so close, you're probably not going to be able to tell that big of a difference. So I would probably say, to kind of round out this comparison, you are practically getting almost the exact same type of watch for the most part in most areas that I care about watches from these two devices. But I think the biggest thing to keep in mind here is that with the Galaxy Watch 5, you are still getting a device that is, still supported with software, still a very strong watch, And for basically every single thing I would ever do on a watch, it's probably going to be more than enough for me. With the Galaxy Watch 6, this is a very strong watch. It's a kind of a decent improvement coming from the Watch 5, which I'm really happy about. And you're actually getting a better watch in most areas, which is really nice. I think next year's watch will probably bring a bigger battery, but I think beyond that, it's a very good watch on the Watch 6. And it kind of makes sense to buy that type of watch over the Watch 5 if you have all the money in the world. But if you want to get a better deal, maybe getting a used Watch 5 might make sense for me to kind of recommend more people to do than buying a Watch 6. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.